Consumer spending in the U.S. climbed more than forecast in September as incomes grew, a sign the biggest part of the economy was picking up as the quarter drew to a close. Household purchases, which account for about 70% of the economy, rose 0.8%, the most since February, after a 0.5% gain the prior month, a Commerce Department report showed today in Washington. The median estimate in the Bloomberg survey of 71 economists called for a 0.6% rise. Incomes rose 0.4%, the most since March. The economy expanded at a Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Annual pace in the third quarter, helped by a pickup in household purchases as an improving housing market boosted confidence. At the same time, growth remains limited and unemployment elevated, Federal Reserve policymakers said last week, one reason they maintained their plan to buy bonds and keep interest rates low. The strength in September gives consumer spending a good lift for the fourth quarter, said Stephen Stanley, chief economist at Pierpont Securities LLC in Stamford, Connecticut. The housing market seems to have turned. Consumers are clearly feeling better and are going out and spending a bit more. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Equity markets in the U.S. were closed today as Hurricane Sandy barreled toward New York City. Risks posed by the storm are expected to come ashore late today in southern New Jersey and potentially affect 60 million people, were deemed too great to require workers to travel. Bonds climbed. Treasury securities added to earlier gains after the report, sending the yield on the benchmark 10-year note down to 1.71% at 9:03 a.m. in New York from 1.75% late on October 26 amid concern that the storm will disrupt business and hurt the economic recovery. Projections. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. For spending in the Bloomberg survey ranged from gains of 0.3% to 0.8%. The saving rate dropped to 3.3%, the lowest since November, from 3.7%. Wages and salaries increased 0.3% after rising 0.1% in August. The drop in the saving rate indicates the gain in spending is not fully sustainable, said Pierpont Stanley. We'll see whether the consumer can keep it up. Stanley raised his forecast for spending in the fourth quarter after the report to about 2.5% from around the 2% he previously estimated. Disposable income, or the thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Money left over after taxes, with little changed in September after falling 0.3% after adjusting for inflation. Adjusting consumer spending for inflation, which renders the figures used to calculate gross domestic product, purchases rose 0.4% after a 0.1% increase in the previous month, today's report showed. Price-adjusted spending on durable goods, including automobiles, climbed 1.3% after a 1.5% gain. Purchases of non-durable goods, which include gasoline, rose 0.5% and services advanced 0.2%. The results shed more light on how household spending was faring at the time of thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The handoff to the final quarter of 2012. GDP rose at a 2% annual rate from July through September, up from a 1.3% pace in the prior quarter, Commerce Department data showed last week. Consumer purchases grew 2%, following a 1.5% gain. Cheaper gasoline, the lower unemployment rate and an improving housing market are lifting Americans' moods. The Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index reached a 6-month high in the week ended October 21. The Thomson Reuters University of Michigan final gauge of sentiment advanced to the highest level since September 2007, before the recession began. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Retail sales in September and August had the best back-to-back showing since late 2010 as shoppers snapped up goods from cars to Apple include Tiffany's. Target Corporation TGD, the second biggest U.S. discounter, was among chains whose same-store sales last month topped analysts' estimates. Some companies are seeing more caution among customers. Chipotle Mexican Grill Incorporated, the Denver-based burrito chain, reported third-quarter profit that trailed analysts' estimates on slowing sales growth. "We still don't think the economy is in great shape," Montgomery Doran, co-chief executive officer, said on an October 18 conference call with analysts. "Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Consumers seem to be a little bit cautious right now. Employment and growth are central themes in the campaigns of President Barack Obama and Republican challenger Mitt Romney ahead of the November 6 elections." Payroll forecast later this week. The Labor Department may report payrolls advanced by 125,000 in October after rising 114,000 the prior month, according to the Bloomberg survey median. Unemployment rose to 7.9% from a three-year low of 7.8%, economists predicted. Household spending has advanced a bit more quickly, Federal Reserve policymakers said in a statement on October 24 after "Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Their meeting. Growth in employment has been slow. The central bank repeated it would press on with $40 billion in monthly purchases of mortgage-backed securities until the labor market improves substantially, and reiterated interest rates are likely to stay near zero at least through mid-2015. An index of inflation tied to spending patterns increased 1.7% from September 2011, compared with a 1.5% gain in the 12 months ended in August. The so-called core price measure, which excludes food and fuel, rose 0.1% from the prior month and was also up 1.7% over the "Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Past 12 months.